Hello, it's the end of the third week in April in the UK, and I want to give you an update on my collection of tree ferns which have recently been brought out of winter protection. They've been out of protection for about a month now, and I've been watering the crowns, and I want to show you what's happening inside the crowns, but also talk to you about my wonderful new jungle and fern garden which I'm building behind me. We've got 6 of these unusual and fascinating plants which come all the way from places like New Zealand and Australia and Tasmania, ranging from this 7-foot specimen, which is a recent addition to the collection from the Palm Tree Company, all the way down to this tiny little 1-foot specimen. And it's good to have a range of heights because you get to see all aspects of the plant. You get to see from above, inside the crown, and you also get to enjoy the incredible trunks. And they're not cheap, these plants. You can pay £50 a foot, and what you're getting is a bare trunk. We recently bought this one, it was delivered, and because only about 8 or 9 inches is buried into the ground, I've had to stake it and support it to stop it from falling over. And I've used natural looking jute twine, which I think adds to the jungle feel in this area of my garden. We've been building our collection of tree ferns over the years, and now we've got 6. And they've always been in pots, but this is the year they're going to all be planted into the ground, just like this one. And this area here is where I've scooped out quite a large hole, because that's going to be a 6-foot patio where we can sit and enjoy morning coffee in the hot summer months in the cool shade of the fronds of these wonderful tree ferns. And that's the benefit of having this big tall specimen, because that will create an umbrella of fronds which we can sit underneath. And I'll be doing a video on this patio in the very near future because it's already arrived. I've got it on the lawn waiting to be installed, but I've got to prepare the ground first. Now, these tree ferns have been in winter protection. That doesn't mean that I've kept them inside. It just means I've put them into a very sheltered, shady location, and I've wrapped the crowns. You can watch my video on that subject. I'll put the link above. But because these have now been out for about a month, I want to give you an update on the progress of the new fronds. But before I update you on the new fronds, let me show you what other kinds of plants are going to be planted, underplanted around these tree ferns at the side of my new shaded patio. We're going to create a carpet of mind your own business, and I've got 20 of these here, and I'll intersperse them around the edge of the patio, and they will create a carpet in between all the other ferns and hostas. These are shuttlecock ferns, and these will grow up into great big sprouting, erupting fern shapes which look like a shuttlecock, hence the name. Here we have a hartstone fern, another lover of shady positions, and look at these tiny little fronds here waiting to unfurl. I'll do some time lapse on that. That's the frame I've used to secure this 5-foot tree fern in its pot, and I'll be discarding of that because this tree fern now will be planted in the ground in that position in this sheltered courtyard underneath the thatch roof. And it's very cool and dark and shaded here. Very little sunlight gets in because of its position in between 2 buildings and the main house. This is the rubble which I've collected from the hole which will form the sub-base for the patio. And that's the soil there which I dug out from this hole. And I know that that whole wall there has a line of builder's rubble along just underneath the surface. So I'm going to dig that out, place it in this hole, and then fill the hole with this soil, which I will enrich with some compost, because all these plants like rich, well-drained soil. I've recently purchased 3 different types of fern, and I will separate them and plant them around the edge of these tree ferns, underplanted alongside some hostas over there. These hostas are not just ordinary hostas, they're giant hostas. This is Empress Wu, and I've got 3 of those. And this is Jurassic Park, and I've got 2 of those. And they were ordered mail order, and they came as bare root plants, and I was a little bit disappointed, but they've only been in these pots for about 2 weeks, and look how much they've grown. And I expect this to grow to about 2 or possibly 2.5 feet. These will be incredible specimens underplanted around the tree ferns. we've also recently just bought from Facebook Marketplace this Hart's Tongue fern. A lady was redesigning her garden and she didn't want the ferns. She's turning her garden into a Mediterranean style space. So we bought this. It was quite a bargain. We got two and I think they were £5 each. And look again at these beautiful little fern fronds waiting to unfold. And these are going to love it over there in this tiny little shaded courtyard space. If you've watched my other videos on tree ferns, you'll already know that most of the trunk is made up of dead leaf matter. It does produce roots at the base, but they are not to feed the plant. They are just for anchorage, and the living plant is inside the crown. And if you peer down inside there, you can see a frond waiting to emerge. And that will grow very, very quickly as it starts to grow, and it will come out and create another part of this canopy. It's already inside there like a coiled spring waiting to explode. And if you look very closely on the side there, you can see the fronds curled up and waiting to start growing. Here's another one, our smallest tree fern. It's only a foot tall, but it's not going to be disappointing because look inside there. There are already 4 tiny little fronds and they will explode and add to this canopy. And we'll be able to look down into this one from above and enjoy another aspect of this incredible plant. This specimen over here, which is about 5 foot tall, has a lovely curve on it. And actually you can pay more for curved ones because they have an extra interest to them. We paid the same price as a standard one, so we think we got a bargain. And again, down here under the soil, you can see the framework which I constructed just to help that steady itself in this pot. But because that's going in the ground, I can dispense with that framework, and I will build another brace like this to tie it up against until it gets some roots into the ground and can support itself. And when you have a tall specimen which you can sit underneath, you get to enjoy the light going through the fronds. These incredible fronds can reach lengths of up to 5 feet, and when you think they start off as a small coiled spring about the size of a garden snail, look at all this growth that's now emerged. And these are not even large ones. And again, down inside here, if I gently feel, very, very gently with my fingertips, I can feel the hard knuckles of fronds starting to grow. This is another plant which we bought off Facebook Marketplace second hand. A man had a caravan and this was next to his caravan, and he was selling his caravan and he was selling all his plants. So we went along and dug it up and bought it from him. And I know for a fact that that's already got a very well established root system in the bottom. So it's a fact that these plants will root if you plant them in the ground. This 5 foot specimen at the rear of the cottage has been cause for concern. We bought this from a garden centre and it cost us over £200, and it's never really been a good doer. It's never created a new frond since we bought it, and we do have a guarantee with this plant, so we are entitled to return it if it doesn't do very well. However, happily, this spring, for the first time, it started to show signs of new growth in the crown there. I'm not going to touch it because it's very delicate, but happily in there are some new fronds waiting to emerge. This is our newest tree fern. It's a 7 foot specimen which we bought from the palm tree company. Of course, you take a chance when you buy these because they don't have any signs of life or growth on them at all. They've just been cut off at the top and the bottom with a chainsaw quite dramatically. And then you plant them up and you sit and you water them and you care for them and you hope for the best. Unfortunately, with this one, we've been rewarded because right in the top here now, just here, there's a brand new frond starting to emerge. And if you get close up and look at it, you can see it's got green edges to it. I think this is going to be a fantastic plant and well worth the money. I can't wait to see that grow into the summertime. So there you go, an update on our wonderful tree fern family. They've all survived yet another winter, which makes me feel great. And they're all about to be rewarded by having their feet planted in the ground, which is where they will remain permanently in our forever home. This little courtyard at the back of the cottage is going to be a secluded, sheltered jungle garden, underplanted with hostas and mind your own business and other ferns. And we're going to sit out here on a hot sunny day in the shade of the canopy of these tree ferns and enjoy our coffee. And I will now continue to water these on a daily basis. It's said that you cannot overwater a tree fern. And I will feed the plants into the top, into the living rhizome, the crown. And I'll use liquid seaweed and pelleted chicken manure. And that way I'll enjoy a beautiful harvest of wonderful, long, unfolding green fronds throughout the summer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the notifications bell. And don't forget to comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Have you got a tree fern? Would you like one? Have you got any questions? And I'll see you soon.